fine artist. I just graduated from Hereford College of Arts. I'm from Northern Ireland originally, and moving to England I sort of began to observe the way that Ireland was portrayed within the media in the UK, and it's quite an immersive space to be in when you're home. I've always loved where I'm from Belfast, and I sort of encountered this like juxtaposition where I moved to Hereford, and it was a completely different observation on my culture at home and how it was perceived by others. And so I have utilised this within my art to create environments that are quite immersive. I'm quite inspired by John Baudrillard and simulation and simulacra and the sort of post-truth nature of our modern world. And so I've created some digital environments that in the current landscape we're sort of required with our phones and technology and the internet to constantly be connected but alone, sharing people, like completely immersed. But also that feeling of unease, like the political system at the moment has moved and we're sort of in this situation where the DUP are now in power with the Conservatives, and there's this like displacement of the Irish culture that we're sort of a bit backwards, but we're actually, you know, there's so much love and there's so much to give, but it's also ambiguous, it's ambivalent, and we're sort of really in an uneasy space. And I guess that feeling of unease is something that I've really tried to work within my landscapes, within like an installation, sound installation with theremin, that sort of like that non-distinct.
About your piece here. Yep, so just, yep.
So the installation is called I Don't Know, We'll See, and it sort of plays off the idea that we always get like a window, like a screen view of everything that we observe in a digital space, on the media, like we get an observation and an opinion, and so that's what the window has been placed into the installation space, but also gives an element of play to the room and play to the space. It sort of has this key signifier of like a Wendy house or a playhouse, and it's sort of, I guess that's the nostalgia of my connection to home. It's that it's the place where I grew up, it's everything that is important to me in my life exists there, yet I'm so far removed from it. And so the windows are blurry, the windows are quite dark, and you can't necessarily see in or out of them. And so a lot of my work reflects on the digital and how in a media post-truth world we're sort of faced with images that replicate constantly, but they don't really have any status. They're just images, like something's repeated on the news so often that it loses its meaning completely because we're oversaturated. And with the landscapes that I've created, they're very ambivalent. They're just sort of shapes that you recognise, but they're repeated in such a manner that it doesn't necessarily matter what you're looking at, because there's a sensation of depth, but the sensation of things being flat. And we're never really sure what we're looking at, but you sort of have a sensation of memory of like the psychogeography of a place, like with any of our major cities, that you could be in Paris, you could be in San Francisco, you could be in maybe the new parts of London, and you necessarily feel it's the same atmosphere over and over and over again, like with the movement of capitalisation and digitisation of our worlds. We're sort of becoming together, but ultimately becoming more and more apart. Okay. So one of the things that became really important to me was the screen sort of asks us to be sort of immersed and cuts us off from our periphery. But what I found really amazing is that whenever you take a game space, the visual cue for a game, it sort of asks people to come into a playful mood. And that's why I rendered all my work in Unity. I sort of made it so that it was very digital, it was like very computer generated, very games oriented, so that people would sort of get the understanding that it was meant to be a bit of an enlightening sort of sensation, a community sort of space where people would relate to each other. And I also wanted to invert the idea that the screen could be something that pulls us away from each other and make a space that was both immersive in that it puts you inside the screen, but it also asks you to speak to other people. And so my Oculus, the work that I've done in Unity for the 3D space, it sort of asks us to, it invites the viewer to both become immersed in an environment, in an atmosphere, as I feel that whenever I'm home, quite involved with. But it also, because there's no sound, because there's nothing dominating other sensations, people often start to speak to each other and sort of relate to their experience of the space. And I think that with feeling so isolated and like with the dystopia becoming so prevalent within my work, I also wanted to try to use that environment to bring people together, and that sensation of community among all of the isolation has become really important. So.
Okay, where can we find you? Like, are you on Instagram or anything? Or?
I'm on Instagram as MaddieMew2, and I'm on, my website is www.mmcvfineart.wixsite.com. So, and I think I've got some cards and stuff as well. Email is mmcvfineart@gmail.com as well.